There are two things that I loved growing up. One was watching the introductions for the MLB All-Star Game each July. All the pomp and circumstance, bunting around the upper deck, and so many superstars standing side by side. It was just a special memory. Second, of course, was 1989 Topps. To commemorate each season, Topps would select an All-Star team based on the stats from the previous season. Looking back on those selections through the lens of advanced stats, some of them are questionable picks. Dive in with me as I redraft the 1989 Topps National League All-Stars and make some new All-Star Game introductions. Starting off at first base, it's Andres Galarraga versus the challenger Will Clark. As you can see, they're fairly evenly matched, though Clark has a big lead in walks and one more WAR. They were both All-Stars in 1988, but in the battle of nicknames, Will the Thrill edges out the Big Cat. So let's see who the selection is.
Batting third, this year's top vote getter in the All-Star balloting from the San Francisco Giants, number 22, first baseman Will Clark.
It's Will Clark. Was there a more intimidating player from the 80s with his menacing look and that eye black? I think not. Let's move on to second base. Ryne Sandberg is up against the challenger Roberto Alomar. These two future Hall of Famers are very close with nearly identical numbers. Sandberg has a sweep in All-Star, Silver Slug, and Gold Glove, but does the rookie Alomar have something to say about it? Let's see.
The Major League's all-time leader in fielding percentage at second base. From the Chicago Cubs, number 23, Ryne Sandberg.
It's Rhino. He's got second base locked down tight as he's in the middle of a run of 10 consecutive All-Star games. Third base is up next with Bobby Bo versus Chris Sabo. This is really a matchup of power versus speed and defense. Bonilla was the big bopper, but Sabo ran away with the Rookie of the Year honors in 1988 with his 46 steals. Let's see who our third baseman is going to be. Chris Sabo it is. Sabo, rocking the rec specs, inspired a generation of bespectacled athletes to realize that they could achieve their dreams despite their lack of visual acuity. Another Hall of Fame pairing at shortstop with Ozzie Smith taking on Barry Larkin. A classic offense versus defense matchup. Who do you go with? The slick fielding Smith or Larkin, the leader in long balls? We're about to see.
Leading off and making his sixth straight appearance as the National League starting shortstop, from the St. Louis Cardinals, number 1, Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie keeps his spot on the team. We aren't done with Larkin though, as we may see him sooner rather than later. To the outfield where we go, where two buccos face off with Andy Van Slyke facing a challenge from Barry Bonds. Do Van Slyke's sick stats stack up against the burgeoning Bonds? Although they are even in homers, Bonds pulls away in WAR. Is it enough to topple his teammate?
Next from the Pittsburgh Pirates, number 24, Barry Bonds.
Bonds takes this one, a sad day for Andy Vans everywhere. On to center field. Next up is the hulking hawk Andre Dawson taking on the bunting Brett Butler. This matchup is power versus speed, with Dawson hitting 19 more home runs and sweeping the awards. But wait, look at that. Butler is leading in WAR? Who will it be?
Outfielder Brett Butler.
Well, Butler is saying, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Right field is up next with the Battle of Titans, Strawberry versus Gibson. These two finished 1-2 in MVP voting in 1988, so you know this is going to be a close one. The all-around excellence of Gibson gives him an edge in WAR, even with Strawberry's stunning offensive numbers. Let's see who takes it.
Playing right field for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Kirk Gibson.
Gibby pulls this one out just like he did in the MVP balloting. Maybe Strawberry will named as a replacement though, since Gibson declined to attend both times he was selected as an All-Star during his career. In 1989 Topps, they had a pinch hitter designation for the NL, which was previously manned by Gibson. Seeing that we need to replace him, let's match him up against Larkin, the league leader in WAR in 1988, and see who makes it.
From the Cincinnati Reds, shortstop Barry Larkin.
There we go. Larkin is not left out as he makes the team as the pinch hitter. Catcher is our last position player, with Gary Carter taking on the challenger Tony Pena. Carter looks like he was riding high due to his sterling reputation as the selection, but does his offensive prowess still stand up against the defensive-minded Pena?
From the St. Louis Cardinals, for 26, Tony Pena.
Pena picks off Carter just like he did with 34% of base stealers in 1988. Pitchers are up next with the right-handers taking center stage. It's David Cone trying to unseat the otherworldly Orel Hershisher. These two are neck and neck, with Orel with the lead in innings and ERA+, but Cone racking up the strikeouts. Who will win?
From the Los Angeles Dodgers, number 55, Orel Hershisher.
Hershisher shuts down Cone just like he did at the end of the '88 season with 59 consecutive shutout innings. Lefty starters are on the block with Danny Watch Me Stretch Jackson taking on John Two-Team Tudor. Jackson racks up a big league in innings and strikeouts, but Tudor comes on strong just like he did after his August trade from the Cardinals to the Dodgers with a higher ERA plus and WAR total. Which lefty will it be?
From the Cincinnati Reds, pitcher Danny Jackson.
Danny Jackson maintains his position and was recently still seen stretching at Wrigley Field. 1989 Topps removed relievers, which were seen in the '88 set, from the All-Stars. I'm rectifying that wrong by pitting Randy Myers versus John Franco. These two legendary relievers would be traded for each other before the 1990 season, with Myers becoming 1/3 of the Nasty Boys triumvirate. But we are talking 1988, where Franco was no slouch as he racked up big leads versus Myers in saves and ERA plus. Who will be our lockdown closer for the '89 Topps All-Stars? Let's find out.
From the Cincinnati Reds, number 31, John Franco.
It is babyface Franco before his mustache-touting ways later in his career with the Mets. Let's go around the horn to wrap up our new 1989 Topps National League All-Star team. We got Clark, Sandberg, Smith, and Sabo in the infield, with Bonds, Butler, and Gibson patrolling the outfield, and Tony Pena behind the plate. Pinch hitter is Barry Larkin, and our pitching staff is rounded out with Hershisher, Jackson, and Franco. Proposed lineup looks like Butler leading off with Sandberg setting the table for a murder's row of Clark, Bonds, and Gibson in the 3, 4, 5 spots. The teammate connections follow with Sabo and Larkin at 6 and 7, and Pena and Smith are defensive specialists rounding out the lineup. Let me know in the comments, do you agree or disagree with my selections? Who got snubbed? Which picks did I nail it on? And stay tuned for the 1989 Topps American League All-Star Redraft. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.